Hey everyone, welcome to the channel and welcome to another video and another chapter working on something that I haven't even put up on the screen yet. So what am I doing, guys? You're about to find out. Yeah, there it is. Yes, working on this guy. That guy right there, that's the F-51 Mustang. So let's just get started now. We got some wing stuff done last time. This guy here. Okay, that's all done. And so we got to work on some guns. Guns. Yeah, to quote a line from an old RoboCop scene. Yeah, anyway. Got my coffee already. We're going to start working on some guns. So, I'll change the video, change the camera here so you can get a look at what I'm doing. And we'll just start going. So, as I mentioned, we got this done. So this is done. The wing part is finished. We got to work on the guns next. Okay? So, I have taken the liberty of getting a few of these things ready to go already. So, I don't have to, or at least I hopefully don't have to do too much painting. I know I'm going to have to obviously paint the actual guns, but I've tried to prepare a little bit. So, coming off of here, we need our W11. We need the little buckets, right? That's these guys here. Okay, so let's get those off of the sprue. Oops. And there's one, two. Okay, and we'll get to these in a minute. Here's our ammo and stuff like that, but we're not doing that yet. We got to deal with these. Okay, so in here we've got a couple of pieces of photo etch. Okay, and so I have taken the liberty of painting this part of the photo etch. Let me get into the black area of my video here. You can see it's those two pieces there, and I've already painted them in hopes that I don't have to paint them once they're actually on the parts. Okay, so let's get these off of our little photo etch sprue and get them cleaned up so that they will fit nice. Okay, so let's put that back over here. Let's see if I can trim this a little closer. Not much. I find, even though, you know, I bought these things in order to, because they were basically, video I saw, they advertised that you can get super close and trim these things. I find it's not much better. It's just a lot less work than trying to cut it off of the thing with a knife. These happen to be big enough that I can just hold them with my fingers, and I'll do my file thing till this nut is gone. I got a feeling it's not going to fit unless I get rid of the nuts. So it looks like it's going to go into a slot in the plastic. One thing I have discovered with photo etch is that the photo etch doesn't like to hold paint very well. That's just the nature of it. You know, everything, especially if you've ever worked with any kind of metal and tried to paint it, you know, it needs to be sanded, right? You need to sand the metal before you paint, because otherwise paint just comes right off. Paint requires some kind of, I'm going to say, paint requires scratches, okay, in order for it to really stick. Okay, even if those scratches are smooth to the touch, or smooth, so smooth you can't even see them, the paint knows the scratches are there and this paint will stick. Nail filing. No, not not filing my nails. No, filing the nubs off of the edge of the photo etch piece here. So yeah, not definitely not filings. Okay, so W11, that's this one here. W10 is this guy. He's going to go right there. It doesn't really matter, except these are kind of angled. As you can see, they're not perfectly rectangle, they are angled. And we want to have my painted side facing the inside of the bucket, because that's the side it's going to be seen. I want to grab my tweezers real quick here, just so it's a little easier to show you. There is detail on one side of the photo etch. They've got like a little bit of rivet detail on this side, whereas the side I did not paint, it's just completely smooth. There's no detail at all. Okay. Anyway, so this guy, he's got to go in, looks like right in here, in this edge. And it looks like they just want it sitting right back down in there like that. Just like that. Okay, so I can put a little bit of CA glue down on this side, down on this side, and oh, it's a tight fit. There we go. I don't think it's really going to be necessary to put CA glue down on the bottom here as it goes in through these. There's a couple little holes here that those go into. I think just the edges, the two sides, probably going to be good enough. So I need some CA glue. It makes a lot more sense for yeah. Okay, get some CA here. I feel like my lid is not going down all the way for some reason. Anyway, okay, so going back to this, we want this part going into this one. So I'm just going to put some CA along the edges here and here. I think that's all I'm going to need. And just to be overly cautious, I'll put a little dab there too. There we go. I think that's all we need to do. Good enough, I think. I think that's going to be plenty, and we're not going to need any more. So I will do this one. I'll do a little test fit first, just to make sure I don't run into any problems. Yep, good. I'll do the same with this one. Dab on that edge, that edge, and in the middle. Here we go. So those are in. I guess technically this is going to be the front wall where the gun barrels are sticking out. If you look at the pictures. Okay, so put these aside as we start assembling our gun halves. So I'm going to find my J tree. I guess technically we got two J trees. So I'm going to do 16 and 17. Let's do those first. Here's 17, 16. Okay. I don't know if my nubs are going to be an issue, but I'll just try and do it up as clean as possible. I have seen, I think there are like bronze, like brass barrels you could buy if you want You notice there's no hole at the end of this thing. If you want, you could take a pin vise, drill out the tip, the barrel tip. Is it really necessary? I see guys doing it, you know. You take your little pin vise, you get in there and you drill that out, and you make yourself an actual barrel. I'm going to try it. Give it a bit of a realistic look. There we go. It's got a little bit of an indent there. Now I can't really see it on the camera, but I got an actual hollow barrel now. At least it's not that deep. The risk with this is you got to make sure you've got it really straight, otherwise you wind up risking coming out the side. But it seems to be a perfect size there. So anyway, this guy needs to go with this, and it's going to go just like that. So I'll get my thin. There we go. Okay, there's one. Now we need J14 and 15. Okay. Clean up my nubs again. It looks like Tamiya was really nice, and they actually put the nubs on the side that it's actually going to be facing down the bottom of them. Okay, now that I've done one gun barrel, I'm going to have to do all 6, right? Otherwise it's going to look kind of funny. Only one gun barrel is actually drilled out. And of course I got lucky with that first one, and I got it very perfectly centered, and then this one I did not, and it wants to go off to the side. There we go. There we go, a little bit of a hollow part. Do the same with this, and put these two together. There we go. Okay, there's 2. Now, of course, we don't see, we're showing you 2, but there's 3. So we got A, and then we got A, and then we got B. So B and A, they're actually different. So A was the first one. And it looks like this. Okay. B is this one. Okay. This is B, where you have this little block sticking out the side. Right there. Okay. A has the block sticking out the other side. See that there? They're 2 different directions. Okay. And that matters here because we've got 14, 15, 16, and 17 again on the same sprue. But we have more over here too, right? So you basically just have to pay attention. You guys know sometimes I don't always, which is why sometimes I make mistakes. I realize I was supposed to do something and I have to do it after the fact. There are a couple of builds I've done over the last couple of years where I actually missed something completely and didn't realize it till I was done. And it's like far too late to do anything about it. And I don't know if you guys just didn't notice or if you're just being kind and not pointing it out online. But yeah, I've noticed a couple of times I've completely skipped a step and forgot to put some particular part in somewhere on something. Yeah, see, this is where you have to be careful. I'm not centered in my hole, and so it's wanting to spread the plastic in order to make a hole, and that doesn't look good, right? Which is why I don't really like drilling out these kinds of things so much, and there's really not much I can do about it, but that's okay. This thing's basically going to be black anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so this one happens to be an A. So we don't actually need this one because I have an A already over here. And over here we've got C and D, which are the same parts. So A is 16 and 17, which happens to be D also, right? So let's see if I can get this 14 and 15 to look good. So the nice thing is we need 6 guns, right? The plane has 6 guns, but the kit is giving us 8. So you get to make one mistake on each. So if you're gonna make a mistake, just make it once. Like I did. Yes, this one I got centered, so it looks better. That looks better. Okay, so we've got our 2 B's now. 2 of these and 1 A. So there's one set. Okay, so now we're going to build up this other set. So we'll start with this one. Okay. So what's this one going to be? This is going to be one of these. So this will be the only one I need of this one. in theory anyway. As if for some reason I happen to drill my hole a little crooked. Then I'll be making another one. I think I did okay. And like I mentioned before, you don't have to drill the holes out. I mean, that's just an added little detail. How many people are really going to see it? Not a lot, right? How many people are actually going to scrutinize your model kit? If it's just you, then don't worry about it. So I'm just trying to determine which ones I need to do here. So I need 16 and 17. So this one and those two and those two. Okay. I hate that. Okay. Now those are the only two I've got left, so I got to do this right. Now, of course, in saying that, I'm really the only one who's really going to be looking at my kit, right? Yeah, maybe a passerby, somebody's visiting or something like that, they say, oh, that looks pretty cool, and they look at it for a minute, and then that's it. That's all they're going to see. Nobody's really going to be looking at my gun barrels to notice that I've drilled them out, and they're actually barrels and not just a solid piece of plastic. So who am I doing this for? Really? I'm really just doing it for myself. And maybe you guys too. Well, I'm doing it for myself because I think it looks a little bit better when it looks like an actual little barrel. Right? And not just a solid piece of plastic. So in that sense, I'm doing it for myself. In another sense, I'm doing it for you guys because I want you to see that adding a little detail like this really isn't, like, you don't have to be professional to do that. All you need is a pin vise and some patience. I'm very quick to point out the fact I'm not a professional. I've just been building model kits for a long time in my life, and I like them. I think they're cool. I like building stuff like this. I enjoy it, and I've been doing it for so many years, and so yeah, I got a little bit of skill, sure, but am I a professional? Not in the least. Okay, so these got to be painted gunmetal, and I do not have any gunmetal rattle can. I've got light gunmetal, but it's supposed to be regular gunmetal, and so I'm going to have to spray it. I'm going to have to do I'll have to spray it with my air gun. So regular gunmetal right there. I'm just looking to see if I've got another one that's already been thinned. And I do not. Oh, I do. All right. This one's already been thinned, so I don't have to add any thinner to it. That's going to speed this up a little bit. It's already been thinned, so I don't have to add any thinner to it. Okay, so how am I going to hold on to these? I can try using my little alligator clips, but the little tab on the bottom there, a lot of times that's not really going to hold. I always test it by doing something like this to see if they're going to fly off. Okay, so there's one. I don't care if the tab gets painted, right? That's not an issue. But I do care if, while I'm trying to paint it, it lets go like that. I do have some alligator clips that really don't hold tiny things very well. So I try not to use them on little things like this. Okay, we're ready to go. You guys want to watch me paint these? I don't know. There's really not much point in painting and showing you these little things like this. But I know some guys like to watch it, so. We'll see how you guys can watch me here like that too if you want. I don't know why the lid on this seems to be bowed, as if there's a lot of pressure in there. So I'm a little bit... No, that's fine. There's no pressure. No pressure. Okay. Airbrush. Get some paint in there. Where's my thing? I'm not sure what that flickering was all about. Okay, let's change our cam. You get to see me here. In a second I'll get to painting. For now you get to see my arm. Okay, so I'm actually gonna just grab this. There we go. There's one. Done. One and done? Yeah. So we got 5 more to go. I have seen some reference photos of these things, and you know, if I didn't know better, I'd say they're just black, but I suppose they start out their life in the gunmetal color, and then, you know, as time goes by, with all the soot and everything, and dirt and whatever, grease, they just become black in color. So I'll do these up in the gunmetal, and then I'll weather them. When I weather them, they're going to wind up looking black. So it's just the nature of the game. Okay, 4 down, 2 more to go. One more to go. Alright, so they're all done. Let's do a double check, make sure, yep. Yep, there we go. All done. Okay, so let's switch to this camera, because now I got to clean my brush, and that's not very interesting, is it? So that's it for those. We still get a couple of other pieces. The J4 needs to be put on each one, and W5 and W6, and they got to be painted aluminum. But I can just brush paint those. So I will skip now, so that you guys on YouTube don't have to watch me cleaning my brush.
One pair of pants later.
So airbrush is clean. Now I want to find off of my J trees 14, sorry, not J, W, off my W trees I need W5 and 6, and off my J tree I need J4. So let's grab those, put those there. So I need J and W. So I actually have them painted chromate. J4, I painted them chromate. That's funny. So that's those. And I'm painted on this one too, chromate color. But I need to find W. Where's my W tree? G-R-double-D H. Where is W? That's H, B, B, G, R, double D. That's just a single D. that's E. Where is my W tree? See, this is J and K. So W might be attached to another one. Tamiya has done a couple of things with this kit where you have one sprue, but they've labeled it with two letters. Like this is one sprue, but this side is J, and then this one's K. Right? So you got K and J all in one sprue. And they've done that a few times to me so far in this kit. So I need to try and figure this out. This one, our bombs, we've got CC, T, and AA. So let's just make sure. Now, in the event that I can't, you know, I remember seeing a W tree, I just don't remember where. I don't know, I don't remember which one is W. So in this case, when you cannot find, if you're like me and you struggle to find which one it is, you can always refer to the back of the manual. Because the back of the manual, they show all the sprues and what they are. Okay? And what's on them. All of these, right? So I'm going to search W. W is the one that has our weapons on it. Alright. So that's why I can't find it. Because I got it sitting over here. This is our W tree. And 5 and 6, right there and there. Okay. So now I know what parts need to be painted aluminum. So, take a sip of my coffee and we'll start painting. Okay. Alright. Gloss aluminum. Let's get this shaken up. Alright. Grab a brush. Okay, so it's W5 and W6. It's just these two pieces here. Just need a little bit of aluminum color to them. Just like that. Done. That's those. And then also need to change our chromate into aluminum. I think I might have to do 2 coats on this because the aluminum tends to be a little tiny bit transparent. So I'll probably do 2 coats on these. Tamiya paint, of course, being very lovely in that it dries so quick. By the time I'm done painting these ones, I can probably do my second coat on the other 2. Okay. Yep. Second coat does the trick. All right. Now I have these. Let's do this. There. I'm gonna help it dry a little faster. Although it looks like I did these ones just a little bit thicker coverage. But it looks good. Alright, so there's the aluminum done. Okay. Done. Now I gotta clean my brush. All right. Okay, so we have our guns. Okay. That's one way to get it off. Okay. Put these away. Alright, so with these being the way they are, I want to separate. I need two of these, one of these. Okay, so that's going to be that one. There we go. Which means you go here and you go here. Alright. Just like that. Okay. And K. Alright. So let's grab our little bucket here. And I forgot about a little detail there. Our little square blocks need to be painted aluminum also. So I'm going to use a slightly smaller brush. And we'll paint a little detail here. Because once these are in there, it's going to be a little hard, especially on the underside, to paint our blocks the aluminum color. Right? Right? So, right? Yeah, that's right. Okay, there's two. We're going to do it to all 6 of them. There's 3. This is the kind of detail, you know, you're not going to see it. It doesn't jump out at you, right? It's just a little bit. It's a little added detail. How much or how little detail you want is really up to you. It really is. It's all up to you. Another thing you can do is take some panel liner, do a wash, all that kind of stuff to really make the detail jump out at you, right? That again is totally up to you. How little or how far you want to go is at your discretion. The other thing is, are you gonna display, like if you're building this exact model, are you gonna display it with the gun bays open on the wings? Or are you gonna display this thing in flight? Right? Obviously if you're displaying it in flight, you don't have the bays open. And so you might not be putting any of this detail on there. You might not even bother painting them. Right? Okay, so going back to this, we're going to put this guy here. This is A, with his little box facing this way. He's going to go in there like this. So we've got this pin and that peg going to line up here. Just like so. Okay, now we got to put W5 on, so I'm just trying to determine. I think I'm going to have to put the W5 on here, on there first. Put it on there first, and then put the gun in the little pod. So, because how else can I get it into that slot, right? Once that's down in there. So, let's grab W5. Where did my W5 tree go? W5. So this guy here. And he's going to go like that. Just like that. Okay. Alright, so he's on there. And then we need J4. So off of J, two number 4s. So I think I need to put them on both guns. Which would make sense why we have 4 J4s. Okay, let's just get the other 2 off of there. And we'll get them all ready, and we'll get these all put together. There we go. Okay. So then we're going to take that, and J4, goes into that hole. Exact same thing. Okay. So they are technically going on the same sides. They're all facing the same direction. Go. Okay, so let's do these guys also. Remember, it's the opposite sides. There we go. One more. And last we need W6. W6 goes on this one. Does it? Yes. It just goes on this side. That's the difference. Okay, so there we have those, and here we have these. So going back to this, going in through there and lining up just like that. Now in this case I'm going to use my thicker glue because I can't get down in there on the pin with the thin set. So I'm going to actually put the glue on here and here. And there's our first gun in. First one. All right. And then we just follow up with these ones next. And there we go. We've got our gun pods. Our guns are in. Okay, that's one. Grab the other one. And we're going to do the same thing. Okay, so we want this one over on this side though. Right? This guy. He's going to go over here. I am pressing down with a little bit of pressure just to make sure it's seated, but I did notice very quickly that these will kind of rock back and forth a little bit if you're not careful. So once I got it lined up where it's sitting in the holes, I basically just press down a little bit and then just make sure it's straight up and down, and then just let it set. Let the glue set. If there's adjustments I need to do later, then so be it, but I don't think so. As long as I've got it in their slots and straight up and down, I don't think it's going to be an issue. check my alignment. Yep. There we go. That's that one. Double check on this one. Yeah, they're all straight up and down. Well, no, maybe not. That needs adjustment. That's good, good. All right, there we go. There's our pods, guys. Finally. What's it been, an hour? Has it been an hour already? Yeah, it's been an hour just to assemble these. But we're done. We got our 2 gun pods done, which finishes off this page finally, right? So let's flip our page over and see. Next step is actually putting the pods on the wings. Pull this down. Actually putting the pods onto the wings. You want to trim off that centerpiece, which I already have. Now, we got our 2 wings here. Okay, I've already pre-painted the chromate in here like you're supposed to, right? They want you to pre-paint the chromate in here also, but I mean, honestly, are you ever going to see it from the other side? I don't think so. I also have pre-painted the silver in here because the underside of the wings they did not do in chromate, right? They just left this as the aluminum color, which is why this is super shiny in comparison. Yeah, so that's that. They're also warning me that there are a couple of pins that need to be trimmed off of the edge of the wings, so that when you try and put your 2 halves together, you don't run into any problems. So they put one up here, kind of up here on the leading edge, and then another one down here. I've already trimmed those off, so I don't have a problem. They want me to put my bullets in, right? They show you the painting scheme of all of them right there, and then they're going to go in right here. But I don't want to install them yet. I'm thinking I'm going to install them all later on. Once it's painted, then I will put them in, because that's one less thing I have to worry about getting overspray on, right? So let's take a look at this. So we've got this, and we're going to take a gun pod, and we've got to figure out which one it is that's got to go in there. And it looks like it might be this one that's going in there. So we're going to line our little thing up to that little tab. Let's see how that lines up just perfectly. So it's going to sit just like that. And that's how it's going to look on the inside. So I've got some paint on here. I'm going to scrape away just a little bit of paint, just to make sure, to help the glue do its job. Just going to do that. Bear with me a moment here. I just got to reply to a text. Okay, so I'll add, now that I've got that done, we'll get these 2 pods glued in, and then I'll call it a day. Put that down there, and there we go. And in typical Tamiya fashion, it's a perfect fit. No issues at all. Put a little bit of thin set in there just to give a little extra. And there we go. They do tell you to paint this black, so I've done a little bit of black there, because I think, you know, you've got your ejection holes down here. You're going to see a little bit in there when this is all together, kind of like this. You're going to see a little bit, you're going to see inside there just a little bit, so and you can actually see where I didn't quite get enough paint on there. So now I know I'm going to have to do a little bit better and just paint over a little bit more down this way. I'm going to have to put some black paint down over there, but that's all right. Let's get the other one in. Scrape this off. Got a couple of layers of paint. I got the primer, plus I've got my chromate color there, so I just want to make sure the glue can actually do its job in gluing the plastic. Do a test fit, even though I'm pretty confident Tamiya, I'm not going to have to test fit. It's going to fit fine. Everything lines up. It's perfect. This is kind of strange, why I have a wall here in front of my gun barrel. I just realized that there's a wall. You can't even see the gun barrel here. What's the point of this? I spent all that time drilling out the end of the barrel, and they don't even stick through. That's weird. That's extremely weird. Why do they have the gun barrels facing like that when... Wow. Okay. Whatever. Okay, Tamiya. Tempted to chisel out that wall that they've created that's blocking my gun barrels. But whatever. See, you would think that looking straight at the wing through there, if I hold that up, you'd be able to see my gun barrels, but you can't. They're hidden behind this wall right there. Only one, and it's far back. So I don't know what the deal is with that. Looks good from up here. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. We can put our two wings on, but I want to let this set, right? Because the wings are going to be a little bit more of a involved thing. This is where I'm going to leave it. Just basically going to go like this, down like that. Yeah, there's our gun barrels, guys, right there. There's our guns. Of course, this is Tamiya, so that's going to be perfectly fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this together. I'll glue their wings together. There's absolutely no issue other than I'm going to tape it and hold it like that, or just use clamps, hold it down, run glue along there, and glue these two sides on, and that's it. I'll do that off camera though. Next time I see you guys, that'll be done, right? I'll get that all done, and then we'll continue on with something else next time. So that's where I'm going to leave it now, guys. That's it for today. Yeah. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Thanks for coming out. Thank you for all the support. Check down in the description box below, and you can see some links, and you're going to see links to my Twitch channel where you can watch me live, and you could actually talk to me. Yoella had a question or two earlier today. You can ask me questions live. Let me know how you feel. Ask me questions if you feel like it, or criticize me. Tell me I'm doing everything wrong. I don't care. Just have a conversation. Why not, right? And anyway, you can check out my Instagram, where I upload still pictures of everything that I've built in the past. Every time I finish a project, I take a few pictures of it and I throw it onto my Instagram page, and you can take a look at those kinds of things too. Hit that like button if you like this stuff. Leave a comment down below. Let me know how you feel about me. And you can also subscribe if you haven't. I know more than 80% of you guys who watch my videos do not subscribe. So why not just hit that subscribe button and help me out a little bit, eh? Anyway, thanks again, guys. Thanks for watching. And we're going to see you guys in the next one.